Alright. Well, that'd do it. Now, let's just get some brief context of what is actually going on. If I go to the Enigmatic Discord, we just search for pinned messages. There we go. I pretty much said here that if someone makes top 8 with an enigmatic fries, I'll Incarnation to prove how wrong where I was. Like, as I've stated, I felt like the deck was still fine. I just don't think it was the best deck, and you could qualify and make top 8. And as such, I didn't feel confident that the deck was the deck. And if someone proved me wrong in making it in a regional championship qualifier. So, no, not regional championship qualifying, a regional championship. So, in that case, it would have been the one in Brazil, North America, or Europe, so Sophia. In this case, looky here, we have the one for the United States at DreamHack Atlanta, and Chris Ferber ran it all the way into top 8, only to get bounced out to, I want to say it was Lotus Field. Yeah, it was against Lotus Field, unfortunately, which can be a little tricky matchup depending on how the build you have is, but we're going to go full screen now. So, here I have a copy of Enigmatic, and that's what we're gonna be eating tonight. I did pick up this foil copy at first, but after some research, I found that it is not safe. So we'll just have it in the trade binder. We're gonna trade it away. But this is why we're here. We got some water. If anyone has any questions about the deck or just wants some just chatting while we're eating this, I am here. Yep, it's a real magic card. It has that blue core. I mean, this is why you're here. Now, can I maybe play some chill music? Because I know it's real quiet. Do I think if I could become familiar enough with card taste and could distinguish? Honestly, I'm not sure. No, hmm. think it's going to be taste is going to be a big issue. I think it's going to be how long it takes to actually chew it. Oh yeah, no, this is absolutely the hardcore version. I wonder if there's anything in the hollow, because when I took that first, that was a really long piece, but it didn't break down until I was really deep into it. Like, this piece is finally beginning to break down. There we go. Absolutely, it's a good source. Like, let's rip through the hollow. Huh. Let me... Like, there is, like, nothing special with the hollow itself. Just... What about just specifically eating it? Definitely a little different. A little tougher, if I just say. But outside that, just much easier because of the size. Alright. Hold on, I think I found something. Yeah, this works. Let me just add it. not sure what the microphone is, but it's definitely very chill. I will say, lots of chewing. We're almost there. Almost. Getting those last couple of pieces out of those nooks and crannies. I did it. I'm a man of my word. But yeah, I ate a magic card, an Enigmatic Incarnation, as I said I would. As I said, I was going to do a foil, but then I learned that this is not healthy for you. And what happens to it is that it goes in one way and out the other. It doesn't even, the body cannot digest the foil on top, unfortunately. Else I would have done it, but I'm not going to put my body through that much suffering. Probably gonna call in a couple minutes. Once, if you guys have any other questions about the deck or anything, then yeah. I don't think you're right. Even magic cards is never really good for you. It's just normal magic card, or magic card that's more likely to make you sick. I will choose the former. Yeah, I intend to play, hopefully stream some more Enigmatic on Arena, hopefully over the next week or two. Exactly. It's so bad, but it's not as bad. Unfortunately, this isn't my primary computer, as I'm sure you can see in the reflections of these sunglasses. If I had a webcam, I could stream my face. I don't feel 100% comfortable without the sunglasses, if I'm going to be completely honest. But expect at least some Enigmatic streams and some VODs going up on this channel over the next 2 weeks, hopefully. Last season, I made Mythic with only using Enigmatic. I tried a standard birthing pod deck, but I'm not that good of a pilot with, and I think it still needs to get tuned a lot, and I'm not comfortable with that. Explore Anthology. Let me tell you something about that. Let's go with it. Let's talk about that, honestly. As long as I'm sure you guys are fine with it. This. Here we go. Alrighty, let's, can I sort by, oldest first? Yeah, let's start with oldest. So, there's a couple of these cards that we already knew about, starting with Reflector Mage. Reflector Mage is the one that we knew about going into this. Extremely hyped about that. Yeah, nothing much I can really say. Like, I think it's gonna see some play, but at the same token, I don't expect it to be a lot of play. Maybe in like a band company deck, but other than that, TKS or Thought Not Seer, it's a good card. It's 3 and a colorless. Specifically, you have to use colorless. We have pain lands. We have the basic ways. We're gonna have ways to find what to do with it. Specifically from an Enigmatic Incarnation side, especially with Reflector Mage, I don't think either one of these will see play. I have tried Thought Not Seer. It's good. I enjoy the hand disruption, but it doesn't do enough, and then it leaves it battlefield, making an opponent draw a card is very annoying. Even Reflector Mage, bouncing for a tempo, you really want to be using that tempo in aggressive based decks, but not like specifically like Enigmatic, which is very reactive of a deck. Mutavault, we cannot afford to play many colorless lands. I've run a basic waste in the past, but that was primarily because I could tutor it up because I was running half to the World Tree, and not much I can do about that. Mutavault, on the other hand, just absolutely cannot run. So Thought-Knot being a 3-drop, we have very similar aspects to that. Specifically, the places where Thought-Knot is very good is where hand attack is very important. It's TKS more than anything else, which I know you're having issues with typing in chat. I can see that. So I think Nimble Lostness is a very good replacement. In fact, I think it's the best one to be playing right now, just as either one in the main or preferably one on the side. There are some players who are running Anointed Peacekeeper, the 2 and a white 3/3 Vigilance ETB. Look at yeah, so I think Nimble Lostness is absolutely the best. You could run as I said, Peacekeeper. Peacekeeper allows you to, it's an asset in this battlefield, so it automatically resolves when you tutor it up, and it automatically makes so spells cost 2 more, and the opponent cannot absolutely react to it, which is very incredible. I've just haven't been extremely impressed with the hand. Yeah. I understand that. I'm very specific on how I say things, so that's why I'm calling it out. Yeah. But TKS is very good, it's just in the wrong slot and it doesn't do enough. I played this a year and a half ago when the deck was first being played. That was a very scuffed pile of Enigmatic, but it was a pile. Basic ways, I think if you're running Path to the World Tree and you're running Displacer and Thought-Knots here, it's something to extremely consider, but I don't think it's necessary given the amount of pain lands we have, and there's other ways. Say the Wayfinders. This is simply not for us. Let me get that a little higher. Yeah. So, say the Wayfinder is just not good. It's gonna be great for the Greasefang decks out there, but we don't really use our graveyard enough for the mill for to care about, and we have other ways to find lands. If you want to run ways to dig for lands, if you could theoretically run Communer Spirits, which is just a better effect. It's basically look at the top 4, 6, and then draw one of them. Moving to Courser, it's a very interesting creature. The issue is it's not that good to tutor it out because it really doesn't do anything on one of the ETBs, and that's really important. Like, yeah, we can play with the top card of the library if it's a land, and we gain life for lands on the battlefield, but we're not fetching. We're not really taking advantage of the card draw because we already have so much card draw, especially with Bitter Reunion. Definitely the standout card for us from the new set, from the latest set, Brothers War. Did not expect that card to do as much. It's completely changed matchups. I think it really forces you to keep those extra lands in hand, but you still want to keep playing your lands. Like, I want to play my 10th land drop in this deck because that allows me to play like Kenny Reanimate. Really, that's what our curve technically tops out at. Other key really high drops to hit are going to be 8, which is where you can buy and play Yorion on the same turn. 9 can kind of get you there with if you're playing Scab God, then you can animate at 8, but so on forth and so forth. Island of Great Revel, Fire Impulse is simply not for us. Great aggro-based cards. Wait, they spoil Clever. When did they spoil these? What? Did we miss? There was 3 that were missed? Okay. We got some new cards to talk about. I'm getting ahead of myself. Eidolon. Great for the red aggro decks. We're gonna have some issues dealing with it, but Leyline Bind is gonna be critical. We can tutor out Nihilon to get rid of it. It's definitely something to worry about, but it's not that bad. The things we get that I'll talk about later on are gonna be much more interesting. Fire Impulse, it's gonna be better against in your burn-based decks or your Phoenix-based decks. They're still missing a couple key cards. Your Del spells being the most noble. I don't expect Fire Impulse to get anything else for the time being. But then we get to one of my favorite cards. I've been playing this card for since I really started playing the deck. Eldrazi's Place. Like, you're never gonna choose this out if you don't want to have a tutor reason for it. Like, you really want to have that colorless up, so it's like a turn 6 play when you have the mana up, and then once you do that, it just takes matchups. It really helps out in your slower matchups. We just play this and you get additional benefits, like maybe you flick a Tolsmir, or you flick I don't know, just a multitude of other things, your removal, another Yorion. This also sets up Yorion loops so much easier than what we can do now in Explorer. This is all from an Explorer viewpoint, in case that wasn't caught on. I'm not missing any chats. I was in top chat, not live chat. Really excited for this. This actually gets around some removal. Like Vanish Reverse doesn't hit this because it's a void. It's also a 3-mana 3/3. Like, it has a great body for its stats. Just, you have to be mindful of when you want to rid it up, and like, it's gonna help you out in the games where you really want it, and like, put you over the edge and close out those things. Conflict, that's gonna be a brawl deck. I don't expect to see any play. Soldier of the Pantheon, that's a really good mono white human creature. That's gonna see play almost immediately. I'm looking forward to seeing it play. Nothing else I can really say about it. If you play within Pioneer, you know it sees play. Maybe not as a full 4th, but can definitely be a little tricky to interact with as a whole. We don't have Dreadbore or anything in the deck, but we do have other things, so definitely looking forward to that. Am I just hiding parts of my screen? I guess I am. Yeah, I'll also take a look at that later, but oh well. Clever Impersonator. Again, like, Soldier and Clever Impersonator are both new cards for me to see. Did not expect to see these. I actually think Clever Impersonator could see play. It comes in a battle copy of anything, so basically the idea is you play this, you tutor this out, it becomes a copy of another Enigmatic, and also you can tutor up your 5-drop. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think Siege Rhino does it better. Like, Siege Rhino does, like, Clever Impersonator already adds on top to whatever you're doing, and it's gonna get played around with. It's definitely worth crafting one. For reference, Eldrazi's Placer, Clever Impersonator are by far the best things to be crafting from this, from an enigmatic perspective, at least as of what we've talked about. Just get one of each of those, and then you'll be fine. Worldbreaker, for reference, this is a 7-mana, 6 green, 5/7 devoid creature, so it has no color. When you cast it, you get to exile a target artifact, enchantment, or land. It's a 5/7 reacher, and then you can pay 2 colorless to sack land and return from your graveyard to your hand. I hope this never sees play. Well, it'll probably see play because the fact it has an on-cast effect. I expected to see play. Although you're only looking at your green ramp-based decks, I think this may be like pre-mono green. Oh, you can't have mono green unless you have Nixville, so definitely gonna be very interesting. And then we're gonna go from there. Eerie Interlude, Ethereal Armor will not see play for Enigmatic. These are for different decks. I don't expect Eerie Interlude to see any Explorer play except for Fringes. Maybe in some form of Flicker deck, although I expect that to be more so a Brawl deck. Ethereal Armor, I think we have Trial Ambition. We can beat this. I'm not really concerned about it. Rending Volley, though. That's a sideboard card. Very good. It's been better than Fry in most cases. Losing that 5th damage and Planeswalker is notable, but it's still fine. Like, Fry is very good Fry is best in the control matchup, but you really need cheap interaction to not get run over by mono blue and mono white. Mono blue being the worst matchup for the deck. You can still beat it, but everything else that is played is fine. I'm not really expecting, like, right now we have temporary lockdown. Once we get Radiant Flames, I'll be switching over to that because it's just much better. It's the fact that it can deal 4 damage with this Athalia out and can thus sweeping mono white, and still sweeping mono blue with everything at 3 is still fine. They don't run anything with 4 or more toughness, which is very important for us unless you get to later stages. Zulu Poor Cutthroat. For reference, I expect 3 Rending Volleys in the sideboard. I still craft a 4/4. It's an uncommon. There's no reason not to. You should have uncommon wildcard lying around. If you don't, then just do the daily wins, craft your packs. Easiest way to do it. Okay, moving on to the next line. Looking Sliver Highboard, we're not playing any slivers, so we don't play that. Zero Poor Cutthroat, that is for an Aristocrat style deck. We're not doing that. It's also a 2-drop creature that we can't pot out of. Spirit Companion being the best one, by all means. The fact that it's a 2-mana enchantment creature that replaces itself by drawing a card is very important. Mana Reshaper is very interesting. It's very good for trading up, but it's a little bit trickier to cast as a 3/2. It kind of forces you to play in such a way where most of the deck costs 3 or less because of the fact that it dies and does something, but there's also been a lot more exile-based effects, especially from the control aspect. I just don't see it doing well enough to see any play. We've had it in Pioneer since Oath of the Gatewash, and it still doesn't see play. I don't expect to see play. Our curve is simply too high even expecting this. Mono Green Tron in Modern was able to, or Drowsy Tron in Modern was able to take advantage of this because a lot of the cards were much cheaper. And when it didn't hit those, it hits some heavy hitters that it was always great. Now Mana Reshaper can do the exact same thing, but our curve is just simply too high. Like we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 15. We run like 15. We run like about 18 things that this can't hit, which is roughly just under a quarter of the deck. I think Eldrazi Tron, what it ran, probably about the same. Maybe we could play and try it out. I don't expect to see any good. Shaman Pact, we don't run many, if any, else, so there's no reason for us to be playing it. And lastly, first card, 2 last cards. 1, you just need to craft 4, slot it in. I'm not going to go into too depth of what Nihilia's presence is. If you've played Enigmatic before, you know what it is, and you know that it is worth it to play. Play it, play it, play it. Take out those Urban Utopias, slot in Nihilia's presence. It does the exact same thing, but it does everything that Urban Utopia does better. Still draws you a card, but it turns on full domain. Not needing to worry about that. I will say it will definitely change how I sideboard, because my current Explorer deck has 4. It'll have 4 Presence, 4 Omens, and then 3 Bitter Reunions, 4 Trials as my 2-drop enchantments. I've usually gone down and trimming Omens and Presences. I'll probably still do that, but I'll be more hesitant to cut Presences from the deck because it turns on the full domain. And then lastly, we have Dispel. Dispel, I think, is just a great card. Nothing much I can say about. I think it's a great, just random inclusion, just to have. It'll see some fringe case play in like specific decks that are looking for Dispel, but other than that, I don't expect it. But yeah, those are really my thoughts on what's out thus far for a 12, 16, 22. So we're just missing 3 cards. Yeah, but I'm happy with the overall quality. Wondering if we can find Explorer Anthology 1. So, like, even if we go back to Explore Anthology 1, which still had some very high quality heavy hitters. Like, Favorite Hoplite was solid. I know I'm going to be hiding a lot of this, so let's turn off the camera. Or rather... How's that look? Okay, there we go. Like, Favorite Hoplite still sees play in some cases. Rally the Ancestors, I think we're still missing some things, so I'm not surprised. Now that we have Zulaport, I think it's a lot more interesting to play. Soul Artifact, it sees some fringe cases, it's great. Mausoleum Wanderer automatically saw play. Kalidas saw play. Shadowborn Apostle was not for us. Tainted Remedy, extremely strange card to add in. This was definitely one of the more head scratchers. Alicia, I've seen some play. I can understand why they want to add it in, but I didn't like it. Syrian Blood, I think it gives the decks that wanted additional reach of what it does. Battle Rage doesn't see play. Time Tree sees fringe. Why they have to print this magic card into the format. Elvish Mystic, like just going through this, like, for the most part, we got a lot of solid things. We also got Darksteel still, yeah. No, I was very impressed. Like, this is about average. Like, I would say Anthologies 2 would, did its job a lot better. Or at least slightly better. Like, we saw a couple cards, like Kalidas, Mausoleum Wanderer were some of the heavy hitters in this. And Elvish Mystic. Those were, like, the ones that saw, like, playset stuff. You saw those no matter where you went. In this case, and then you saw a couple one-offs, like, Supreme Bear. How could I forget that? Siege Runner still see some play. Back to Nature. I've been back to Nature 3 times this season. Which is 3 times more than I've ever been prior to this season. When they blow you out, they blow you out. I think Rally's gonna be very good. It's gonna take some time for all the pieces to come together. But yeah, like, this is about where I expected it. Some of these were like head scratchers, like Tainted Alicia, well, Tainted Remedy and Shadowborn specifically. Like, you could automatically tell that these were not for us, which is fine. Like, we'll just won't craft them. So yeah, I'm not. If anyone has any other, like, comments, then I'm more happy to answer. But, like, I'm very happy with what they're printing in this one specifically. Like, yeah, they could have just done what was ever at the top of the metagame, get Nykthos and Mono Green into the format, raise the power level of Phoenix, but other than that, like, and Thespian Stage follows, but a lot of these, like, are just your faster combo decks that are trying to be very proactive. They're printing a lot of the, reactive and ways to answer that first, so it's definitely extremely interesting of their approach, and I have no qualms with it. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it here. I'm just gonna end it here. But yeah, today, Enigmatic Incarnation. Also took a look at Explore Anthologies, and what was already revealed. We're still missing 3 cards. But yeah, I'm just gonna sign off here.